Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is Sanzu Maharzan, and I'm involved in ASHRI as Emerging Fellows Committee member. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to briefly introduce ASHRI. The Academic Advisory Council for Science, Research and Education, ASHRI, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing thought leadership in on-premise signage. Our mission is to foster and disseminate interdisciplinary research in signage and wayfinding by driving innovation across academia and related fields. Our vision is to spark collaboration that shapes the future of signage and wayfinding in the built environment. Since 2017, ASHRI Emerging Fellowships have supported early career scholars in the field of on-premise signage. To date, over 20 fellows have been named, receiving more than 135,000 in awards. This multidisciplinary group explores a wide range of topics from information processing and emotional response to signage to its impact on sustainability and consumer well-being. The screen displays the list of 2025-2026 Emerging Fellows, ASHRI Emerging Fellows, including both returning and new members. Our Emerging Fellow today is Aiden Lee, Assistant Professor of Marketing at California State University, Long Beach. He is currently mentored by Dr. Matthew Isaac. Please join me in welcoming our emerging fellow, Aiden Lee, who will now take the floor.
Thank you, Sanju, for the introductions. And hello, everyone. My name is Aiden Lee. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at Cal State Long Beach. First of all, I sincerely express my gratitude to Ashley for the amazing support as emerging fellow. With this help and support, my co-authors, Dr. Moon and Song, can successfully continue our research work. So I'm happy to present today's talk. The talk is Prompt Engineering Strategy on the Effectiveness of AI-Generated Advertisements. This is joint work with Dr. Moon and Song at Cal State Long Beach. To start us off, let me share a real-world example. Coca-Cola's Y3000 campaign was created together with AI, and it shows how big brands are already using AI to develop new products and new marketing ideas. This example shows how important AI is becoming and how much it can change the way we design consumer experiences and advertising. It also raises an important question, such as how are these co-creation processes with AI actually managed, and how do we decide whether they are effective or not? The world of digital advertising is changing very quickly. The market is growing fast and competition is getting tougher. At the same time, people are getting tired of seeing too many advertisements, and they expect messages that feel more personal and more engaging. Generative AI tools like DALL-E and Midjourney are changing how we create content. For advertisers, these tools offer several advantages. They can lower production costs and scale creative work, and they make it easy to quickly A/B test many different advertisement ideas. And they open up much richer possibilities for personalized advertisements. Now, being able to generate content with AI is a big step forward, but it also puts us at an important crossroads. We have to go beyond just asking, can AI make an advertisements? And instead ask, are these AI generated advertisements actually effective? Do they really connect with consumers and lead to the outcomes we care about, like higher engagement, better brand attitudes, and intentions to click, share, or purchase? At the same time, using AI in advertising comes with real risk. The outputs can include hidden biases, and the style or message might not match the brand and could hurt its image. And sometimes the content can be inappropriate or even misleading. All of these shows why we need clear strategies to make AI advertising not only effective, but also responsible and well aligned with the brand. Now, being able to generate content with AI is a big step forward, but it also raises an important question. We should move fast asking, can AI make it? And then, so here we want to generate our content using the two models. So first one is we have kind of seed image and then generate a text, and then based upon the text, generated text, we also actually use another model to generate the images. So we have a dual diffusion model. So double diffusion model, they can generate images, they can uh, convert the text, and then based upon the label, the converted text, and then the images, we also retrain the text, images and text. So by using that, we can overcome the limited number of the samples and then training data sets. So here is the first example of what our AI can do. This signage image for Art Festival 2023. This was created with Stable Diffusion, which is a state-of-art text-to-image model. As you can see, the vibrant and creative design illustrates how AI can generate signage that is both visually appealing and well matched to the event content. Next, we have a signage image for the Department of Chemistry, which was designed to represent a diverse group of individuals. This example shows our focus on inclusivity and how AI can help create signage that speaks to a broad audience. At the same time, you may notice that the level of realism is not quite there yet. That is because our current model has not been fine-tuned specifically for the signage generation, so there is still room for improvement. So far, we have tested fine-tuning using existing data with a few modifications. You can see the result in these images. The images on the left are from the original data set, and the images on the right are the outputs after fine-tuning. As you can see, using these existing data, we were able to fine-tune the keys, sketch style, and successfully generate the images in a similar style like the ones shown here. For this example, we used the prompt, a sketch of scene with a tree and a house. We also fine-tune the model using a specific brand, in case Nike. As before, the images on the left come from the original dataset, and the images on the right generated by fine-tuned model. For this example, we used the prompt, a black Nike jacket with a hoodie and zipper. On this slide, you can see several examples of signage created by our generative AI models. We have a no skateboarding sign and an exhibition sign, Pablo Picasso, and a chemical handling warning sign and a free coffee sign. All of these were generated from text prompts. For example, the chemical warning sign in panel C was created from prompts. A scientist is mixing sparkling chemicals combined with the keywords for different genders and ethnic groups such as male, female, Asian, Hispanic, African American, and Caucasian. Our goal here is to offer a cost-effective way to design signage by using recent advances in generative AI. Instead of relying on multiple rounds of traditional design work, and our algorithm can generate custom signage that fits the specific needs of each project and business. This is specifically helpful for budget conscious nonprofit organizations. They can quickly get many versions of sign and test different messages and visuals and see which design works best for their target audience without paying for repeated design revisions. Nonprofit also need signage that reflects their values around the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that speaks to why a range of people. Our algorithm support these by creating designs with inclusive messages and imagery that fairly represents different genders, ages, and ethnicities. In the end, our solution helps nonprofit organizations build a sense of belonging and community among the people they serve. The key to dealing with these challenges and really getting the most out of AI is prompt engineering. This is not just about typing a few keywords. It's an art and science of careful writing inputs or prompts that guide generative AI models to produce the specific outputs we want. Good prompt engineering means thinking about structure, context, constraints, and then improving the prompts through several rounds of refinement. Why this is so important in AI advertising? Because the prompt directly shapes the quality, style, and content of advertisements that are generated. It's essential for staying within brand guidelines and for meeting campaign goals. And just as importantly, it helps reduce bias and address safety concerns. So this brings us to the main question of our research. How can we design prompts that create advertisements which are not only visually appealing but also effective, brand aligned, and safe? So our overall research goal is to set how six different prompts engineering strategy affect how people judge the AI generated advertisements. To do this, we focus on three main research questions. First, how do consumers' evaluation of AI-generated advertisements change when we use different types of prompts, right? And the second, which specific prompt elements help or hurt key effectiveness metrics such as visual appealing, creativity, and clarity, brand fit, and behavior intent. The last, which I only mentioned briefly if time allows. So how do we different prompts conditions influence perceived safety in terms of inappropriateness and biases in these advertisements? Uh, so because AI depends on heavily on what we feed into it, so prompt engineering becomes critical piece of the puzzle. Prompts is basically a set of instructions we give to the AI, and prompt engineering, such as summarized by like Liu and colleagues in 2020 for NLP, the process of designing, refining, and optimizing these instructions so we get the outcomes we want, right? For visual generations, good prompts design has several dimensions. First, we need to be clear about the content and subject. For example, which object, characters, or scenes should appear, right? And then second, we can specify style and aesthetic, and such as referring to artistic movements like impressions, visual styles, such as photorealistic or minimalist, right? And or even the looks specific artists, right? And the third, prompts can influence composition and layout, including framing and camera angles. And the last, we can add various modifiers and constraints such as keyword for image quality, lighting, and the color palettes and negative prompts that tells more what not to include, right? So these well crafted prompts are actually essential for generating images that are not only visually appealing but also relevant, coherent, high quality, and aligned with the specific advertising goals. To evaluate the impact of these prompt strategy, we first need a solid framework for measuring advertising ad effectiveness. The ad effectiveness is not just one simple thing. So it's a multi-dimensional concept, right? So we try to use three dimensions. These three dimensions include cognitive responses, such as getting attention, building awareness, and making sure people understand the message. In our study, measures like a clarity, brand familiarity captures these cognitive side. Then we have effective responses, uh, which are about our people feel about the advertisements, whether they like it or what kind of impression it leaves. So for that, we look at visual appealing, positive impression, trust, and authenticity. Next are cognitive and behavioral responses, which related to what people intend to do after seeing the ad. We measure these using visit intent to booth and the intent to scan the QR code for the event. Finally, we consider brand-related outcomes such as perceived benefit and the sense of professionalism the advertisement conveys. So in our study, we use comprehensive sets of these metrics and all measures on 7-point Likert scales. And so we can capture these key dimensions and when we evaluate AI generated advertisements. So the core of our experiment is these six different prompts engineering strategies, which move from very simple to more complex, and then from the text only to multiple input types. The first condition, condition one, is our baseline, just a simple text only prompt. We believe that this, the condition represent normal usages. And the condition two, as one key brand element, the company logo. Condition three goes a step further by including reference images. So the AI gets visual guidance on style and layout. And the condition four is our all-in setup without GPT. It includes everything from the previous conditions plus details, event information, so we can see what happens when we give the model very specific data. And then condition five as another layer of AI collaborations. Here we first use a GPT-4 to write rich descriptive text prompts, and then we combine that with the logo, reference images, and event details. Finally, condition six uses a task pipeline. In this case, GPT-4 first learns the desired style and then generated prompts from the text-free images and making sure to use the logo, colors, and event details. With this design, we can systemically compare how much the value each additional type of input brings to the quality and effectiveness of the generated advertisements. To make sure the effectiveness in more complete way, so we use a multi-dimensional framework. For each ad, the participants rate 14 items on 7-point Likert scale, right? So we measure per ad evaluation, visual brand, content, message, effective attitudinal and behavioral intent, and safety. For overall brand set evaluation, we also ask them to kind of like which advertiser is more appealing or how effective are these AI posters for recommending their use, right? So now let me turn to our findings. We began with a very simple but powerful question for participants. Out of six, as you saw, each brand, which one was your overall favorite? So this chart shows combined result across all brands. The pattern quite clear. So advertisements from prompts condition 5, where we use a GPT-4 to generate the text, and from the condition 6, our style focus pipeline were the most preferred, right? With 164 and then 161 total votes. In contrast, in condition 1, the first condition, the basic content only prompt, uh, that was the least preferred by a large margin. So our first key takeaway is that richer, more descriptive prompts tend to produce advertisements that consumers like better overall. And does this pattern hold when we look at more specific creative or criteria? The answer is, of course, yes. On the left side of our slide, you can see the result from the most visual appealing advertisement. Here again, condition 5 and 6 comes out on top. On the right side, bottom, for the most creative ad, we see very similar pattern. Condition 5 and 3 performing the best. And also, this patterns continues when we move from creative qualities to perceived effectiveness and impact. On the left top, you can see the result from the ads was rated most effective in generating interest. Here, participants more often choose ads from condition 6, our task pipeline approach, with the condition 5 also close behind. On the right bottom, for the ad that had the most positive impact on their perception of the company, condition 5 clearly stands out as top choice. This connection is important. It suggests that the creative and aesthetic advantages we saw earlier with these advantages from prompt strategies are not just cosmetic. They carry over into how effective consumers think the ad is overall, and then how positively they view the brand. But does this preference actually translate into certain actions? So to test that, we asked the participants with advertisements would be most likely to make them visit a company's booth at a certain job fair. So the pattern is very consistent. The condition 5 with the GPT generated text was the top choice for the driving these kind of behavior. It was followed by condition 3, which used the reference images, and condition 6, the task pipeline. This is very important result. It shows a direct link between how we design the prompts and key behavioral outcomes. In other words, these advanced prompt strategies do not just create ads that people like more, they also create ads that are more likely to motivate people to act. So does this improve the perception translate into action? Yes, right? So the behavior metrics like vision intent, we found that the same high performing creative conditions, right? And so let me quickly summarize our findings. So our research provided strong, evidence for few key takeaways. First, prompt design really matters. The question is not simply whether you use AI, but how you talk to it. The way you design your prompts that has a big impact on ad effectiveness across many dimensions. The second, if you want high level of creativity and authenticity, you need more advanced input. In our study, using GPT-4 to help write the prompts, and together with multi-modal data, uh, it turned out to be a kind of particularly effective strategy. And the third, we found an important trade of between clarity and appeal. Marketers needs to match their prompt strategy to their main campaign goal. Is the priority to communicate clearly or to attract attention with strong visuals? Fourth, we thought that creative effectiveness leads to actions. The same prompts that produce more appealing and creative ads also generate higher behavior intent. Finally, the trust and safety gap remains a key area for future work. We uh, our research suggests that the shifting deep perceptions of trust and safety requires more than like a clever prompt design. So it is still major challenging for responsible AI in advertising. Thank you so much. This is end of my talk.
Thank you, Aiden, for your insightful presentation on such an interesting and timely topic. We will now open the floor to any questions or comments our audience may have. Please feel free to ask.
Hi, Sanju. I'll jump in with the question. Hi, Aiden. Thank you for the presentation. Very interesting. So I had a couple of questions. I guess the first one relates to how you disclose, or whether you disclosed to participants who were evaluating the ads whether the ads had been AI generated, and if you think that might have made a difference in their evaluations. There's some other work suggesting that AI disclosure can affect responses, and so would they have penalized one ad more than another, that sort of thing. So I guess the first question is about disclosure.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for the question. So we also, my colleague and I also knew the research about the kind of whether revealing the images generated by AI or not can influence the results. So in our research, when we do the experiment, when we asked in our survey, we have disclosed this information because we want to use this algorithm and process for the real like a job fair event, real event, so industry. So in industry, we don't need to rebuild whether we generated this image by AI, or maybe we can give some kind of assist, like some ideas or work as kind of assistant for the designers who actually wants to develop these images. So we haven't disclosed it.
I wonder what you would have found if you had asked participants the extent to which each of the images were AI generated, if you think they would find certain ones, like the more complex ones, to be more natural, maybe feel less AI. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So if the time allows, and I believe in the next process we want to test it, and yeah, so let me include it. That's actually a really good point. Like I said in the answer for your first question, we also knew that several studies actually revealed that so this disclose can have impact on the result. That's a good point. Thank you so much.
Does anybody have any more questions for Aiden? I guess not. So since there are no further questions, I want to sincerely thank everyone for their active engagement, like Matt, for engagement and participation from our audience. Before we close, I would like to share some details about our upcoming webinar scheduled on December 17 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, featuring Grace Ongyan as our speaker. And for more information, please scan the QR code displayed on the screen. With that, we will now conclude today's webinar. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much.